Let's see if this inexpensive device can make a difference. Now, whilst I'm far from the most prolific creator on YouTube, I have been putting out videos for a couple of years now. One of the biggest challenges I've found is getting the audio to sound right on the videos. Now, normally I use my NT1 Rode microphone, which is plugged in through the audio interface into the iPad. Whilst it delivers really nice audio, it tends to be too quiet. In order to get a decent volume, I need to be very close to it, and I generally don't like to have a microphone shoved in my face really close. It just gets in the way. So as a result, I tend to get comments that the audio is just on a little bit of the quiet side. Now, one option might be to get a rig where I can support said microphone above me and be out of shot, but as I say, I'm a musician. All I want to do is create music and the occasional help video and tutorial on YouTube. So I'm not wanting to spend a lot of money building a studio for creating videos when it's not primary focus of what I'm trying to do. So I thought, let's get hold of a lav mic and see if that makes a difference, because then at least that's a little bit closer and keeps the distance between me and the microphone consistent. Now, you can spend a lot of money on these things. Rode have them, DJI have them, and you're looking at about £200, which is a lot of money for something which is going to be used occasionally. Sure, if you're planning on doing interviews and recording lots of audio in perhaps slightly difficult situations where distances between the receivers is quite a long way, but I'm not doing that. I'm basically just in my little office room next to the computers recording in a fairly quiet environment. So I did the next best thing. I went to Amazon and looked for the cheapest lav mic I could find. I thought, let's see how good these actually are. And I purchased the Q-Hot, that very famous brand, wireless lavalier microphone. And it cost me about £20. It was a little bit more than that, but by the time I added a voucher that came on the advert, it was about £20. So the question is, will this £20 microphone make a difference to my setup? So in the box, you get a few things. You get a very wide and all in English instruction manual. There's 2 lav mics, each with their own little plastic clip, so you can attach them to yourself. There's a USB-C receiver, a Lightning to USB-C adapter, and a USB-A to USB-C charging cable. Now the microphones feel reasonably solid, but they're light, they're very plasticky, but what do you expect for £20? We're just trying to see whether there is enough quality in the sound to make them worthwhile. And unlike the expensive alternatives, they are literally just a microphone. There's no clever additional functions. You can't get different audio streams in different places at different distances with backup sounds. No, none of that's here. This is just basically plug a microphone in and record with it, which is... So the original plan was to attach the receiver to my iPhone, which is a Lightning port. And that was the idea of getting this one because it had the adapter. But that seems to be a little bit hit and miss, or very hit and miss. In fact, mostly miss. When I plugged it into the iPhone yesterday, it connected eventually and seemed to work fine. But today, I plugged it in, I wiggled it around, turned it around, no connection at all. And I think it's because the adapter only partially pushes into the receiver itself. So I don't think the connection's been made properly. So the second alternative, which is how I'm doing today's video, is to plug the USB-C receiver directly into the iPad and then just use AUM to record the audio stream. And that seems to be working fine from a technical point of view. It might sound like garbage. We'll have a listen to it and make that judgment call in the comments. Let's just do it. The second option isn't ideal for my use case though. You see, most of my videos are based on creating tutorials and content where I'm using synthesizers plugged into the iPad, which means they're being plugged into the USB-C port rather than the microphone. Now, I did wonder whether I could plug the microphone into one of the attached hubs and that come through, and it doesn't quite work. Sure, it does if you only have that plugged in, but as soon as I attach my Focusrite USB audio interface, it takes over the audio and the iPad can't see the USB lav mic at all. So that's not ideal. And again, I could upgrade my audio interface to have one with a USB hub built in, but we're then spending additional money, and I could have just spent that money on a different lav mic, which would have worked first time. So it's not ideal. So I think going forward, I will try and get hold of a Lightning to USB adapter and see if that works any better, because the theory works fine. It's just, I think the adapters are just a bit naff. We'll have a look and see if we can do anything with that in due course. But anyway, over to you. How does the audio sound? Is it clear? Is it crackly? Is it loud enough? Is it distorted? You know, all these things. Is it any good, basically? Does it sound like it's been recorded on something that's £20, or is it actually okay? And if it is apparently good, and you think I might have one of those myself, there's a link in the description below for it. It's not affiliated or anything. I don't do any of that, but it's there if you're interested. That said, if you enjoyed the video, please poke that like button accordingly. And if you want to subscribe, there's a button for that as well. If you've got any questions, drop them in the comments below and I'll see if I can answer them. And as always, thanks for watching.